Okay, Frank. Frank made it down to my house. I've been making him help me all day today since like 7 a.m.
Slave driver.
Luckily, I got a couple friends that actually helped me out. Frank's one of them. He also works on this free energy stuff. Got the Stan Meyer sickness.
Oh yeah. Got it bad.
So, what we got here, Frank?
We have a Stan Meyer type engine, Volkswagen, 1600 cc's, getting nice and painted up in patriotic colors.
What's that behind it?
The tube cell?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What is that thing?
That is where you make hydrogen and oxygen.
Huh. Where did I get the blueprints for that?
Stole them.
Widespread on the internet now. Don Gable was his name. He give away the pretty much exact schematics for it.
Yeah. Pictures, detailed.
So, that is a 9 tube set. That is what we see in the video of Stan Meyer running his buggy in his driveway. And this is a 1600cc Volkswagen engine going together. You have the crank pulley. We got the aluminum one on it. Top dead center. Bottom dead center. The intake, the sheet metal covers for the heads. The mufflers aren't on it right now, but we got new mufflers. And we have a Solex 34 carburetor. And as close as we could get to the same air filter. This one's a little smaller in diameter. And what's this tubing, this braided stainless steel over here?
This would be the...
Oh, wow, that's a beauty. Where the hell did that come from?
Came from magic.
eBay, you can buy anything on eBay.
Magic.
That is our exhaust cooler. The exhaust comes off of the heat riser. Goes along that and then back into the intake. And this is a little update on the engine conversion project. Did you see the gaseous fuel ports, Frank?
Yes, I did.
You did now, didn't you?
Nope. Seen them before when you posted them. Forgot this thing.
Oh yeah, the starter ring. The starter ring. Starter's laying over a big pile, under a big pile right now. I'm cleaning out my garage so we can start this thing up. Gotta clean out the engine with some kerosene. This thing's been setting. I drained some chocolate milk out of it. Got chocolate milk on my nice clean garage floor that was immaculate.
Okay.
So, got gaskets on the bench over here. Bench is pretty cluttered. Got gaskets right there. Oil screen, gaskets underneath all that junk. We got Stan Meyer circuit boards everywhere.
Look at that. Self-running motor.
Hey! Zip it, man. So, Frank is rather privy to some of my secret stuff in the garage.
I know nothing. Nothing.
He said what he said, but he didn't really mean it. It doesn't exist. It's not possible.
Never heard that. I didn't say it.
So, the gaseous fuel engine here it is going together. This is a carburetor for the gasoline part of the test. It's on wheels. Getting my garage cleaned out so we can do these tests and make a really good show and make some really nice videos. From here on out, we're going to try to make some really nice videos. We're going to talk a lot.
Give as much information as possible and let you know how we're progressing.
If you didn't like hearing my funny talking before, you're really not going to like the future videos because I'm going to talk a whole bunch more.
Yeah.
All right, so see ya. So, here's Frank Sullivan. Frank made the mistake of telling me if I ever needed a hand, he'd help me out. Since Frank has a truck, I have a truck, but my truck is out of commission. The clutch is out of it. And in reality, my clutch leg is out of the commission. So, Frank and I, we were talking it over, going to get this piece of work in here. I dare not say junk, so we'll call it work.
Art in progress.
So, Frank and I have figured out that we both have an illness. It's pretty major, bad, nasty illness. Do you want to tell them what the illness is, Frank?
Sure, if I have to. It's called Stan-Meyer sickness.
The Stan-Meyer sickness.
SMS for short.
So, what do we have here, Frank? What did we go get?
We got a buggy, the exact frame of Stan-Meyer's buggy. It's in fairly decent shape. It's going to be cleaned up and painted, but
I'm betting they didn't hear that because that noisy diesel.
It's in pretty decent shape. It just needs to be cleaned up a little bit, painted.
So you think this is possibly the exact same frame as Stan Meyer's buggy frame?
Absolutely. It's the closest I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I looked through a lot of pipe buggies, and I even have a pipe buggy, but they just weren't the exact same as Stan's configuration. And I think this may actually be the exact frame configuration. I think the only difference is it's got 2 headache pipes where Stan's had 1 headache pipe. So what probably I bet Frank's going to help me out because he has the Stan-Meyer sickness as well.
And just so you know, when you get Stan-Meyer sickness, you do things like I did. Driving 2.5 hours to get here and then another 2.5 hours to get it, just to drive back 2.5 hours and then go home for another 2.5 hours. But I love it.
And he doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to sucker him into some other help. So, here's the buggy. We're going to clean it up, clean up the welds, re-weld the welds. Here's the transaxle that we're probably going to take the transaxle out of my other buggy and put in here. And the front piece, here's the mounts for the front piece. And there's the front end. The front end's just got like 8 bolts that hold the thing together. And again, some of the parts off of my other buggy is going to go into this one. This is just a frame that someone's bought and started to put together. And they must have run out of ambition. So we went down almost to Cincinnati in southern Ohio. Some guy had this for sale. And since we have what, Frank?
Since we have the Stan-Meyer sickness.
Of course, we had to have it.
There's one
And-
other thing I'd like to say.
Uh-oh.
Yep, I gotta say something. I just personally want to thank everyone who has donated not only money but time, and this is really coming to a head here. We're really going to be getting on a lot of this stuff. Now, just so you know, unlike a lot of people that will say, oh, I have a video and videos can be doctored, we're actually saying those people who help and want to be part of the process, come down and see it 100% in person, live. That way there's no question we're doing this.
So, we're thinking about having another conference in the middle of the year, maybe in April, maybe. Don't quote us on that. But we're going to do some run tests on the buggy engine, which we just had a Kickstarter for, a conversion from a gasoline to a gaseous fuel engine on Kickstarter. And in less than 48 hours, we exceeded our fund price. But that doesn't mean stop funding it, because that money goes to more projects like this in replicating exactly what Stan Meyer did. So far, as far as I know, Max Miller has the only working Stan Meyer VIC coil
Yes.
connected to water, making bubbles, as Stan's paperwork says.
Yep.
So, here are the seats. We got these fiberglass seats with it, and the guy happened to have these seats laying there, and I made him an offer, and we took those home as well. And we have another dog box for the second engine that we're working on. Pull that toad off of that engine. So, here in the back of my truck, we have engine number 2.
It's 4 cylinders.
4-cylinder. This is another dual port 4-cylinder 1600cc Volkswagen. Ethan donated this to the cause. He seems to think it will run, so we may do a compression test on it, and I believe we may have enough parts to put this thing together. We have another motor donated years ago by David Otten from Missouri, which you didn't know about.
Nope.
That's what I'm going to sucker you into putting in your truck.
Oh, great. Okay.
So between that and we have another one that caught on fire that was donated to us. Between those 3, we may have enough parts to make a second engine, just in case in the name of science we blow up the first one.
It's highly possible, too.
Highly possible.
Yeah.
Unicorn smoke often shows its ugly horn.
All we have to do is follow McKinley's lead, and we might blow it up.
McKinley also working with helping out. We got a bunch of people helping out now. McKinley actually accidentally had a little explosion, and you can see that where, Frank? Where can you see those pictures?
Oh, you can see them right on Facebook.
Facebook. Everybody loves Facebook. Instead of what normal people normally post on Facebook.
Yeah.
Since McCain Lee has the same sickness that Frank and I have acquired, we have a Facebook group. What's the Facebook group called?
Say it's called Stanmeyer's 1600cc engine, something like that.
Build or something.
Build, yeah.
It's a open Facebook. Anybody can join. All they got to do is put on there they want to join, and they can see pictures of stuff right after I get it fixed up. Some of it's not fixed up. They can see Stanmeyer information, all for free as a group.
Oh yeah.
And that thing's really taken off. All kinds of people talking on there.
Everybody's really getting involved. There's a lot of information on there too. And this is for people who want to get together, discuss it, try to work it, and come up with solutions.
And they can see everything I've been working on for this engine.
Right? Everything.
Plus more.
Yeah.
And I've been deleting stuff that it doesn't have nothing to do with the engine.
Exactly. None of this crazy advertising or...
Yeah, I'm pretty rude about deleting stuff that doesn't belong there.
Right.
And people, if the people are spamming dumb stuff on there, I hit delete, ban. It's about the Stanmeyer Volkswagen engine and whatever pertains to making that engine run on 100% water.
Bingo.
And we'll cut this short. We're going to go take this to my garage and take another video when it's out of the truck. So here we are with Frank Sullivan again. Frank is standing by what we believe is the exact same pipe buggy configuration frame that Stanmeyer had. If you see in front of Frank, there's 2 headache bars there. Stan's had 1, which is a pretty easy fix because we're going to grind all these welds down anyway and re-weld some of it. But it's a pretty square and nice buggy that is pretty much what Stan's frame was. Stan's had some more gussets in it, but this is the same outer frame. And we picked up these nice seats. So anything you want to say, Frank?
Yeah. Well, we are at a historic site. The first ever possible Stanmeyer's Wellness Clinic.
The Stanmeyer Wellness Clinic for those who have the Stanmeyer fever. This happens to be my garage, a place I picked up years ago for really cheap. This is a 24 by 40 garage. We hope to make it in a laboratory for all of the Stanmeyer stuff that I've been working on, stuff Frank's been working on. And in the process, Max Miller, that's me, I've spent a shit ton of money. And look at Frank's face. A shit ton of money on different things to do different things. I used to have my own welding business, and I have some machinist stuff that's all going to be housed in this concrete garage with concrete floor. We got a lot of work to do, but behind Frank there is an office, 8 by 10 office, and then that leaves everything open for workbenches and experimental stations, measuring devices, whatever. Again, a 24 by 40 4-car garage. And this will be sometime in the future my new laboratory. I don't have the money to make it a laboratory now, but Frank, of course, volunteers a lot of his time to help me out and help everybody out by showing stuff. And if we can get this laboratory up and running,
That'd be nice.
that would be really nice, because all of the shit ton of money that Max Miller spent. My money, other people's money. Frank's even given money. Other people's given money. Ed Chanson gave money. Everything can be housed in this laboratory dedicated to what, Frank?
To the betterment of mankind and everything that Stan Myers did related to just have a good time doing it.
And anyone can come here and use my tools that cost a lot of money. Use my tools to do whatever free energy device that they're working on. They can run tests, invite knowledgeable, mostly intelligent
Mostly.
engineers, whoever else, investors, engineers. They don't have to do it at their house. They can come here and do it here. We're going to have full security system, cameras,
Very much so.
internet cameras. But that all takes money, so it's probably not going to be this year.
You know, a lot of people don't realize this, but R&D is extremely expensive. The guys who are working on this stuff know this. But we hear a lot of times people saying, you spent this money, how come it's not done, or so forth. Believe me, if it could be, it would be. There's so much to this. It's not a matter of just spending it to build it. You really got to research and develop, and that is very expensive.
Hey, Frank, you ever been to my day job?
Oh, yeah.
I do have a day job. I work roughly 50 hours a week. I drive 2 hours a day. In this particular buggy, this was money out of my paycheck, no one else's. This wasn't donated money.
Right?
Frank saw me cash my check,
Oh, yeah.
saw me pull the money out of my pocket, pay for this. I gave Frank gas money. We had to take gas money. Frank's been driving 6 hours today to help go get this buggy. This garage laboratory that we're building, I paid for this out of my day job. This wasn't donated funds. This was my funds that come out of my pocket away from my family. Now, granted, it's my garage, but this garage will be shared with a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And in the future, we hope to have our conferences here.
That'd be nice.
We got plenty of street parking, and we got church parking. And if it's not Sunday, I'm sure we can park in the church parking lot. And we got an old house that's going to be a whole different story. And you can kind of get the feel for the garage. It's got a new roof on it. It's concrete block, concrete floor. Needs some work on the inside. It's a nice, quiet neighborhood. Again, this will be a real laboratory with security alarms, cameras. And Frank, I give him a surprise. You gonna stand beside this surprise over here? Frank keeps saying, hey, why not do a single cylinder Briggs & Stratton or Honda to do the tests with? Well, I give Frank his own little buggy that takes a single cylinder engine. So now Frank has a buggy that he can make videos on. And what's that Facebook thing again, Frank?
Well, it would be Stan Meyer 1600cc motor build, and it's really worth checking out. There's a lot of info on there.
So what Frank and I did was we started our own Facebook group. It's 100% dedicated to Stan Meyer's work. Right now we're working on the engine. So it's called Stanmeyer's 1600cc Volkswagen engine conversion. Converting from gasoline to gaseous fuel. So, what about Kickstarter?
Kickstarter. Oh, that was an interesting one. In 2 days.
Max Miller started a Kickstarter. I can't start a Kickstarter for a water-powered engine, can I, Frank?
No.
Because Kickstarter has rules. You have to have working prototype. We don't have the water engine done yet, so what did I do, Frank?
Said gaseous fuel conversion.
And we posted that on Friday morning at, I don't know, 7 a.m. And this is Saturday, like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the evening. And thanks to some people that are interested in my videos, which I have like 500 videos on YouTube, Kickstarter was successfully funded for the gaseous fuel conversion in less than 48 hours. How much did I ask for, Frank?
$1,200.
How much do you think I got in that engine stuff that you've been seeing?
A lot more than $1,200.
I don't know, maybe $3,000 in the engine and the parts I bought for the engine, and
Right. Not to mention time, effort, all kinds.
yeah,
of
we're not
things.
even talking about time. And Frank and I is going to go to my house and look at the engine right now, and we're going to put an engine in the back of his truck. He didn't know that. Now he does.
Happy birthday.
So, point is, we're spending the money. How much money do you think we spent, Frank? How much do you think I spent?
Gosh.
A lot?
A lot.
I spent it. I ain't scared. I spent it.
Yeah.
You donate me money, I'm going to spend it. I spend it all on this stuff, and I spend my own money on this stuff. Why do I do that, Frank?
Because you believe.
I believe, and it needs done. And I think that it's a very good possibility I'm in the lead.
Oh, I know it without question.
And I share 98% of all that.
Absolutely. Not only share it through videos like everybody else does, but says, coming down, see it in person.
And we're going to do more of that. We're going to have more conferences where people can come see the stuff. But we are going to start asking admission of like $50 each time you come see the stuff. That helps pay for the rental on the conference hall. It's not into our pocket, it's just to cover expenses. So, where are we at?
Somewhere right there.
Hey, I'm fat, you're short.
Oh, great.
So, I would like to thank everybody that donated to the Kickstarter. What do you think?
Yeah, most definitely. That was great. Unexpected. Really
So,
good.
less than 48 hours, we got our money from the Kickstarter. We're going to broadcast all that news of what happens with that. We're going to take notes and share all the notes. And there will be more Kickstarters. You need to get involved. 500 views on my Kickstarter video in 3 days' time.
Yeah.
500 views. If $2 a piece, that's $1,000. $2 is nothing. We could make this happen. Get all this stuff done where everybody can share it for free for $2. $2 a person. So, see ya.
Take care.
And here we have the other buggy that I bought years ago. This is a single-seater. Isn't quite what we wanted. but it is a buggy. So we're going to be taking the front end off, the steering, and the rear transaxle, wheels, whatever else we need off of this for the other buggy. Did you want to end this shot, Frank?